The four riders came, a revelation story. In the days when the world grew cold with pride and kingdoms rose against one another, a whisper echoed through the heavens, a whisper so ancient it trembled the foundations of the earth. This whisper was not of man but of God, carried forth by angels to open a scroll sealed with 7 seals, as the Lamb, shining with eternal light, broke the first seal, thunder rolled across the sky. And then came the first rider. He rode a white horse, brilliant and majestic, a crown upon his head and a bow in his hand. The people rejoiced at first, thinking he brought peace. But they soon discovered his conquest was not of the heart, but of power. Nations fell under his deceit, alliances crumbled, and truth grew dim. His name was Conquest, and he went forth to conquer hearts with pride, not humility. The Lamb opened the second seal, and the second rider emerged. His horse was red like blood, and he held a great sword. Wherever his hooves touched the earth, fire and war followed. Brother turned against brother. Cities burned. Children wept in silence. This was the rider called War, and his rage spared no one. Peace was taken from the earth like the wind leaving the sails of a ship, and the world drifted into chaos. Then came the third seal. A rider on a black horse entered the realm of man. In his hand, he carried scales. With a voice like cracked stone, he called, a day's wage for a loaf of bread. Famine had come. Fields withered. Wells ran dry. The wealthy hoarded while the poor starved. His name was Famine, and his grip tightened around every home, squeezing until even hope grew thin. Finally, the fourth seal was broken, and darkness fell. The rider upon the pale horse came, and his name was Death, and Hades followed closely behind him. His breath was as cold as forgotten tombs. He did not speak, for all knew him. Pestilence, sickness, despair, his companions, all walked beside him. Wherever he rode, the earth mourned. The 4 horsemen rode across the corners of the earth, not as myths or shadows, but as judgments. But not all was lost, for in a quiet village far from the kings and generals, a young woman named Grace fell to her knees and wept for her people. She had seen the sky burn red and the rivers run dry. She had buried her sister with trembling hands when the pale rider passed. Yet Grace did not curse the heavens, she prayed, her voice was small, but sincere. "O Lord," she cried, "if the riders come by your will, let me stand with faith. Let me not fear conquest, nor war, nor famine, nor death, for I know the Lamb still reigns." Her prayer rose like incense. The heavens stirred. And in that moment, Grace saw a vision, a new rider, cloaked in gold and white, holding no sword, no bow, no scale. He held a scroll, and on it was written, "Those who endure shall be saved." This rider did not ride to destroy but to restore. He was not one of the 4. He was the promise. The Lamb's messenger. And he whispered only one thing to Grace, "Hold fast, for after the storm, the kingdom will rise." And so, though the 4 horsemen continued their appointed path, Grace gathered others, those who still believed. They did not raise swords but lifted their hands in prayer. They did not conquer, but they stood. And the world, though shaken, remembered hope again. Moral: this story, born from Revelation 6, reminds us that even in times of judgment and chaos, God is sovereign. The 4 horsemen are not sent to destroy hope but to fulfill prophecy. Amid their wrath, faith remains our anchor. Like Grace, we are called not to fear, but to endure, for a new heaven and a new earth shall come.